I don't know what you think about the sound of that. Pretty quiet for a 60-inch recurve that doesn't have nothing but a little bit of cat whiskers, and them cat whiskers is nothing. About 18-yard shots. All of them good double lung. Out here doing a little shooting with a hunting bow today. Been grinding real hard with the competition bow, getting ready for Lancaster. I've kind of left my hunting rig to collect a little bit of dust, other than the few times I've shot a deer with it. But running the old Das17. Got a Jet E3 grip on it. Running the DOS connections with Uka VX Plus mediums. These are 36 on a 25-inch riser. Look at them little small cat puffs, cat whiskers. That's an old triple T string from Mr. Trevor Fielder. Running a fixed crawl right there with some limb savers. Makes a 60-inch bow. And I'm running a tight spot quiver so I can take it off. I don't like shooting with a quiver on in the tree if I can get away with it. All my wood bows, I kind of couldn't help it, so I'd shoot the Selways and the Thunderhorns. But yeah, I've had people ask for reviews for this bow. I'm running a Yost Mojo 11.6, and it balances. That's how I like my bows to balance. Open palmed hand, no rock back. I've been shooting bear bow for competition, and I kind of like my hunting rigs to kind of mimic that same thing, other than I'm not using a finger sling and I'm gapping. So I got the fixed crawl set to 25 yards. And I've taken 2 deer this year with it. Both of them were doe. First one was at 12 yards, and it was pretty steep down shot. She was going to walk out and be at about 22, perfect broadside, but for some reason she followed this little faint little trail down that I didn't think she was going to do it, and wound up facing me at about 12 yards, and something caught her attention. I think she was looking at her yearling, and she turned just enough to give me a good in high out low shot, and she ran about 25 yards and stopped, looked back, had no idea. I mean, she didn't even know it hit her. Running the gold tip traditional classic XTs. These shafts, I'm running 340 spine. This bow, these limbs are 36 on the 25-inch riser, and they're mediums. And so for this 17, they're running about, at my draw length, I'm thinking they're 41, 42 pounds. And I'm shooting a 340 spine. This is what I always talk about, design and technology. You show me a 42-pound bow that can shoot a 340 spine cut, 29.5 inches with just 125 grain heads and the 80 grains in that outsert and ballistics collar. So I've got roughly 225 up front, 29-inch 340 spine, 4-fletch trad vane, 42-pound, 41, 42-pound limbs, running the AccuTune with a springy rest. And the bear shafts fly dead straight. Whew. That'd have been a perfect shot right there. Old heart shot. I like those shots. It's not necessarily where the insert is. That's the one thing I do not like about 3D targets. The 10 ring is not the perfect shot on a deer. Now I'll show you my first shot to my second shot. My first shot was a good double lung, just mid body. That second shot was where I would prefer, which is pretty much on the shoulder, right straight up the leg, not behind it, but perfectly on that soft part of the shoulder and right through the top of the heart. Because if they duck, you're still hitting double lung, and if they don't move, you're blowing that heart out. Perfect shots. I love making perfect shots with a hunting bow. Perfect shot. Look at that. Good night. This bow shoots way better than I do. That's pretty quiet, I think. Don't you think? You let me know. Here's my first shot. That's a good double lung shot. But these two right here, I mean, that's just perfect heart shots to me. That's where I've shot 2 deer at and blew their hearts completely out. So I'll keep aiming for there. Hopefully I'll get Mr. Bucky Buck to walk by before the end of season. I cannot wait to get back in the woods. I think we're gonna go up to a piece of public tomorrow and put all day in and see what we can do. The last time I was there, Ben Power likes to find the most steepest, roughest, thickest briar patches you could ever find and have us walk in. And I can't say that it don't produce good sign a lot of times, but it's tough. So we found this one spot, and it's 5:30 in the morning. It's still pitch black dark, and I get out and I got my hands in my pocket, and I'm looking up this ridge, and I'm like, this is where we got to go in. And we did. It took us about half hour to get up about probably 300 yards, not even 300 yards worth of ridge. We probably gained, I don't know, several hundred feet of elevation. I got a picture. We're about 150 yards up the ridge, and I turn around, the FJ is below us. I mean, it's way down there. So I went back, fought the ridge again another day, and got about 2 sticks up a tree, and here comes 2 hillbillies with crossbows walking up the horse trail, which I should have done, but I wanted to save myself an 800-yard walk, and I should have did that. But right before dark, here comes a big old mega buck right down the same trail they walked in on. He wasn't trying to hear calling or nothing like that, but I'm gonna go down there tomorrow and try to get back on him. It's about a 50-50 shot, but I don't know. Can't kill him from the couch. Love it. So what's your thoughts on the old DOS? I've been shooting these DOS risers now for not quite a year. I signed with Three Rivers last year. I had heart surgery in January. Signed with them in May. I think it was May, and I got my 21. And I liked it so well, and it shot so well during competition season for me. I went and got this 17 before hunting season started. And man, I tell you what, for just a beat up, do everything type of bow, and you don't pay a lot of money for them. I mean, they're less than $500 for whatever length you want, and they're quality. I mean, I have beat this thing to death in the woods. It's got slight finger grooves in the front, which it hits that one finger perfect. And I just put the same amount of pressure on it, since I don't run a finger sling on this like I do my comp bow. But that's my favorite part. They've got a slight piece of rubber right here on this DOS connection, or what your ILF connection plate would be, and the ILF connectors is replaced by these thumb screws, and then with these bushings that go through where the ILF connections were. And that rubber pad, when you hook these things up and string them, it takes out every bit of dampening or every bit of vibration that you would have felt with an ILF connection. and it's 10 times quieter than an ILF bow. I mean, I am shooting this bow right beside this phone within 1.5 feet, 2 foot. And it is very, very quiet. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty much cut and dry. It's good. It's a metal metal riser. You can't break them. Drop them out of a tree, run over them. I don't think you're gonna hurt it. You know, the limbs I got on them are some pretty pricey, high dollar limbs, but you don't need all that. The only reason I got them is because they're these Uka limbs are some of the best in the business. And for the design of those, I guarantee you they'll hang with limbs 5, maybe even 10 pounds heavier as far as chrono speeds and stuff like that. Nice little group, all double lung right there. But yeah, just a little short review on the Das17. I did one on the 21 and put it up on my YouTube page, so if you want to find it, I kind of broke the bow down and went through all the little details and intricacies of the riser and how they operate with the DOS connections versus the ILF. And the Das17 riser is no different. It's the same exact riser in a 17-inch platform. And I don't think, as far as for a hunting bow, in my mind, that's the best you can get right there. And I don't say that lightly, because you know how many bows I've been through. And I've kept this. This is mine. This is mine outright to buy, sell, or trade with. And it has stuck around for a while, for a long time. So that's saying something for old Polly Paw to keep a bow around. I think the only other person that's worse than me is Logan Glassburn. And I've kept this longer than most. I just love it. It shoots so well, right where you look, right down the middle. Well, it's time for me to get off of here and go have some lunch / supper. But anyway, you got any questions, shoot me a PM. I don't mind at all answering any questions you got about DOS or the connections or whatever. Don't mind at all. Just shoot me a PM. You know how to find me. This is Paul. Y'all shoot straight. God bless.